Hey, this is Phil with Perpetual Growth Group. And this video, what I want to talk about is a success principle that I call losing control, I guess is the best way. This is the topic, okay? So in life, we have control over certain things, and there's things that we don't have control over. And one of the biggest problems that we create for ourselves is that we try to exercise control over things that we really don't control, or people that are other people, right? Or think that we have control over things that we don't also. So, and the problem with this is that we get upset when things don't go our way, right? And that's kind of natural. You want things to go the way that you want them to go, like everyone does. Who doesn't? So what I'm going to tell you is that control in your life, probably 90% of it is an illusion, right? It's something that we think that we think we have more control over things than we do. And in all reality, you know, I could leave here and I'm on my motorcycle. I could be riding down the road and get hit blindsided on the, T-boned by someone and die, right? And I don't have any control over that as long as I'm, obeying the street signs. Now, I could decide not to ride a motorcycle. I could decide never to drive again, and I guess that gives me some control, right? But ultimately, that's a risk that we take as part of driving. And so we don't have control over the other drivers. We have control over ourselves, and sometimes we're the problem, right? But don't be that guy. So what we do have control over, however, is important, and it's the most important. What we do have control over is our thoughts, our actions, our words, right? And everything else stems from that. Actions turn into behaviors and habits, which turn into, in the end, who we are, right? So the control that we have is solely over what we think, how we respond to situations. We don't have control over a lot of times what happens to us. We don't have control if something in our car breaks down and it puts us in a financial bind, if our roof gets a leak, and we could have a discussion about, well, maybe you should check your roof every couple months or whatever, right? But there's stuff that happens that we just don't have any control over, okay? And trying to control those things or freaking out when they don't go our way is just detrimental to us. Just the bigger thing to realize is that we only control what we think and do, and to let the rest of it go, and especially other people, the way that they think, because when you really get to know people and how they think, you realize that there's a reason that they think that way, and it's on some way it's served them and it's been beneficial to them, and some of it might seem irrational to us. I'll give you an example. My wife and I have kind of opposite personality types, and without getting into all the details of it, mine is like a dominant formal type of personality, and hers is an informal, goes with the flow type. And so her personality type is called a supporter, and mine's called a controller. And she is like an alien race to me sometimes, the way that she thinks, right? Because what she values and the way that she deals with everything that comes her way is like the opposite of me. And so she'll say or do things, I'm like, what are you doing? And she sometimes looks at me like, what's your problem, right? Because we just, I'm very, very task oriented. She's much more relationship oriented. And so, we sometimes clash on that. But when I came to understand that it's not like something's wrong with her, it was a lot easier for me to meet her where she's at and understand, like, that's just her personality type. That's just the way that she views the world, and it's actually okay. And a quarter of the population is just like her, just like a quarter of the population is just like me. And so if she understands that, like, tasks are important to me, and she takes care of tasks and does what she says, then that's super, super valuable to me, and it makes me happy, and we don't have problems. And if I realize, like, she needs that supportive love, that's hard for me because I don't need it, right? So it's hard for me to see that. And, there's lots of books on this kind of stuff. You got 5 love languages, men are from Mars, women Venus, all that stuff, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is that don't try to control people. If they don't have the same personality type as you, you don't even know what's going on in their head, and you're just going to meet with backlash, okay? So control what you can, let go what you can't, That's easier said than done, right? If this video resonates with you at all, subscribe to my channel. There's other videos on here, and we're going to be putting more up every day or two. And there's a link on here as well. I talk about success principles on here, but it basically is part of also my internet marketing business. So I market on the internet, and it's very successful. And if you would like to learn about that, there's a link here. Go to perpetualgrowthgroup.com. And thank you. Have a great day.